What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. One thing though I was seeing a lot online was everybody talking about the loss with Cody Rhodes, and how that he needed to start losing, and he hasn't did enough in WWE to win the championship from Roman Reigns. We all have our opinions about it. I honestly think that WWE dropped the ball. We still had to see how this thing plays out, but I think in the long haul, I think WWE dropped the ball on this one.
Well, nobody cares anymore. Not to say they don't care anymore, but it's like the only other way Roman can lose is at Mania, and people are not going to wait a whole year.
See, that's what I'm saying, but with that's why it's kind of hard. I didn't get a chance to talk about this before Cody's promo. Because he was talking, he was kind of talking about the same thing people was talking about on social media, and I was just like, talking about something he had to do more, go through more, and I'm like, I don't know if it's, because I think what they're trying to do is give him the John Cena 2012 storyline, and I'm like, okay, I get that, and I understand why you're trying to do it, because he was injured for most of the year with that torn pec.
I think the injury saved him, because if he wasn't injured, we would not be this hot for Cody.
I, in a way, think the same thing. That's why I'm saying. I think that also, and I think we would have had a worse Sami Zayn problem if that was the case. But I'm like, the man went through Dashing and Stardust, and he's been at WWE before. He's been at WrestleManias before. He went out, got himself over, created a company, got himself over, and came back. So the man has been through adversity before, and I think that what seems to happen, what seems is happening now is that Roman's not there, and Roman's not going to do Backlash. So we got the whole Brock thing coming in. Right now, they're trying to find an excuse of why Brock attacked Roman. Did you hear the excuse that they gave for why Brock attacked Roman? For a reason why Brock attacked Cody? I'm sorry.
The excuse that was a real life thing, because Brock was like, I'm about to do the show and go home.
Yeah, so, Wade Barrett said on Smackdown that Brock Lesnar was upset at Cody because of his positioning on the card.
I mean, Brock, if he ain't first, then he last. So,
no.
Well, let me just get on this jet and do this match. Get on this jet and leave. But he probably left before the entrance for the next match.
That's what I'm saying. Brock's always said that if he ain't going on last, he going on first, and he's done this and had a championship title match in the opening of WrestleMania 35 with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So that as an excuse is terrible. Honestly, what would have been a cool excuse is if Cody had won them championships and Brock attacked Cody because he wants to go after the championship now, because Brock can't challenge for the championship as long as Roman's the champion. That was the whole stipulation they had at SummerSlam. That would make more sense.
Yeah, but look, I love Brock, but do we have to do Brock? We kind of just got through with Brock. Can we have somebody else?
There is nobody else.
Well, it would have been Cody, but
No, I'm saying what this is the whole recycle type storyline, and I think what WWE feels is that they're going to give Cody the WWE universe, because the way they look at things is, it doesn't matter what you did before, it doesn't matter what you did when you was away. You have to earn. It's the same thing with Drew McIntyre. And all the shit he been through, and when he went away, he came back. He had to come back to NXT.
He didn't have to.
Okay. And he did the NXT thing. Then he came to the main roster. He had to do all this other shit. Then he finally got the title in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, out of all that shit that McIntyre, you know, was doing, I think the way WWE looks at things is they don't give a fuck what Cody did in AEW, especially not in AEW, or what Cody did in Ring of Honor, or what Cody did at Lucha, you know, or I think he had a small stint in Lucha Underground, or no, he didn't. I'm not sure. They don't care about that, and then these fans right now don't remember Stardust or Dashing Cody Rhodes. I mean, they beg, but honestly, Dashing Cody Rhodes was 10 years ago. And so was Legacy and all that. Are you outside or something, bro?
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Yeah, so you know, Dashing was over 10 years ago. So was Legacy, and they don't care that he was having Hell in a Cell matches with DX, and they was having that rivalry. So they care about what Cody's doing now. And according the way it probably in their eyes, Cody has not done enough to win them belts. So they want to have him go through adversity, beating Brock Lesnar. He's probably not going to beat him at Backlash. He's probably going to beat him at King of the Ring at the other Saudi show, because that's where Brock would get his. These are all stadium shows coming up. We have literally 4 stadium shows. Puerto Rico for Backlash, King of the Ring at Saudi Arabia. Then we have the O2 for Money in the Bank, and then we have
the O2 is not a stadium.
Oh, I'm sorry. As I say, this is a big arena. And then we have Ford Field for SummerSlam. Like, damn. So I think what they wanted to do is like have Cody lose at Backlash, have him win again at King of the Ring, have him win Money in the Bank and cash in at SummerSlam, and then I guess he was like, well, Roman would have been 1,000 days by then. Roman won the championship at SummerSlam. He can lose that SummerSlam. And even if that is the plan, and even if they do, because I don't think the fans can still be into Cody the way they were into Cody at WrestleMania this past year until 40. I don't think they can do that. I really don't think they can be into Cody the way. I mean, he can still be likable. He can still be a face, but I don't think he'll be catching fire like that over a year. And you gotta understand something, that I'm a fan of long-term storytelling, but you also got to understand that with the audience you're dealing with today, you got to be quick with it. And if you don't strike when the iron's hot, you can lose a lot of the audience, because a lot of this audience is like, you know, young people and kids. Am I lying on that part?
Nah, you're right. Like I said, the only way they could do it is if they like Cody, they like not fizzle him out, but like if he's just doing other stuff, and then close to WrestleMania season, then he catches fire again. But that's a big maybe, because I don't know if he will catch fire again.
But see, but look who's catching fire now though. Bobby catching fire all over again. And why do you think Bobby's catching fire? Because first of all, Bobby was dealt a terrible hand at WrestleMania because he didn't have a match. He came out there and did the
Bobby does have fire, but Bobby is not gonna have the Cody Rhodes fire because Bobby can't talk.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, even when he can't talk, I'm just saying right now, he's catching fire. I mean, Bobby's already been over earlier this year. People come out there and they like to cheer for Bobby. But I'm saying, but after Monday, when him and Bronson Reed, they was behind Bobby hard in Seattle, and I'm like, I can see that growing, and to the point where it's like, if people want to see Bobby win a championship, You know what I'm saying? Or they want to see Bobby up there. That can mess with something for Cody Rhodes. And you can't keep doing Cody Rhodes like
Yeah.
you can't keep doing the Cody Rhodes has sympathy for the challenger like he did for Sami Zayn, because that's not going to work but for so long. And I think that's the problem right now in the long run, because right now this storyline it hasn't quite yet, but it's starting to get stale. And when I say when it gets stale, like you have new crumbs in the storyline as the fall of the bloodline is happening, but there's no Roman there to sell it. There's no top champions there, and we keep recycling the same matches. I swear to God, I don't need to see another Solo Sikoa and Kevin Owens match for a minute. How many times have we seen different iterations of that matchup? Or Solo and Sami
Just like when
Zayn?
we seen the Usos and the Street Profits. I don't need to see that anymore either.
Yeah, I would say, because after a while it just gets stale, and it's like it ain't but so much switching around you can do to actually make it make sense without doing like. So they try to bring a new wrinkle in by bringing in Riddle. It's like, okay, I get that you bringing in Riddle, still doing the Usos thing, but I was like, but right now after Backlash, like we need to do something different to help try to keep this storyline going, because right now it's like you got to follow the bloodline, but I know Sami Zayn trying to get into, try to get into Jay's head, but okay, you can honestly give them a break. Like, if anybody plays GM mode or 2K23, when you finish a level 4 rivalry, if you book that same rivalry after they finish the rivalry at a PLE, it will tell you rivalry is on cooldown, which means you will not get as high of a rating if you put them back out there on your Raw or SmackDown. Or if you have a level 4 rivalry and you don't finish the rivalry at a PLE and you're trying to finish it on a Raw or SmackDown and you just keep going and it doesn't end, because rivalries usually end at the pay-per-views, it'll say the rivalry is stale. I think that's what's happening here when it comes to the bloodline, Owen, Zayn, and all them. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's starting to get just at that point. Like, they had a good moment where they could have had the whole bloodline thing come to an end at the same time, but now they're trying to ride it out and they're trying to have more storyline and more layers to it. It's like, yeah, I get it. You want to do the Sami Zayn and the Jey Uso thing, but it's like now it's just like, come on, like.
Yeah, like when I look at the Cody thing, and I know we joked about it, but I mean, after like seriously sleeping on it and thinking about it, what if some of the greatest WrestleMania moments went the other way? What if Triple H beat Batista at WrestleMania 21? Would Batista have been as over as he became?
If you still had that entrance, then yes.
I mean, you can have a killer entrance and still not, and then after a while, still get tired of it. Goldberg got a killer entrance. You don't like Goldberg?
No, that's different.
How's that different?
Because Goldberg can't, Batista can wrestle.
But here's the thing: if he lost at WrestleMania 21 to Triple H, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, the Reign of Terror," and then they gave Batista his moment at Vengeance, how would it be? How would it feel?
It wouldn't be the same, but he would still find a way to not be as over. But Batista, like, okay, knowing what I know now, I know Batista, like, he can reinvent himself. Knowing what I know now, back then, yes, he would probably be like, oh well, this guy is just another guy, and Batista and Triple H is Reign of Terror.
But here's the thing, Batista, you're saying reinvent himself. You don't get an opportunity to do that if you don't get over and somebody doesn't put you over. That's the problem. Like, look at what they did to look at what happened to The Rock at WrestleMania 2000. Now, The Rock is automatically going to be over. I'm just saying, but His moment should have been at WrestleMania, beating Triple H 1-on-1 in the main event for the title. Why y'all giving it?
I
Why
have no
y'all
idea
giving?
what you're talking about.
You being funny here?
I have no idea of WrestleMania you're talking about.
You know about WrestleMania 2000?
I don't think I've watched that one.
Yes, you have, because we reviewed it. You already on camera talking about it. So, uh, when you look at those certain things, if somebody didn't put that, like, what if Brock beat uh Eddie Guerrero lost to Kurt Angle at Mania, or even if he never won the championship from Brock in the first place? Those kind
Yeah,
of
there's a
things.
lot of moments like what if Voldemort never Voldemorted?
Say what?
What if Voldemort never Voldemorted?
Okay, you're just being a troll right now. I'm being serious here because what I
Okay, all right.
that's what they did to fuck. I think that right there is they just fucked up Cody for the long run. I don't know if he's going to. I don't think he's going to get back to how over he was at Mania.
Not at all. I don't think so.
I don't think he's going to get to that. Like I got cursed out. Like now I know Primate from Philly. This is where I need Q at. I got cursed out on. I was door dashing, and I went to Burger King, and I would say it was in the hood. Let's put it that way. Up here in Philly, we got an area called Wayne Avenue. So I go in there, and I'm talking about I'm in the hood part of the city. I'm getting cursed out, and I'm like, yo, why am I? You know, it's like, is it another day? Like, why am I getting cursed out? Like what? I'm just here to pick up a DoorDash order. They was cursing me out because I had a Bloodline hoodie on, and I didn't even realize that I had the hoodie on because they was in there hype over Cody, and I was like, wait a minute, y'all watch wrestling? That's how it affected people all across the fucking country. That's how it affected people. There's no way in hell Cody's getting back to that level of being over.
Cody's not getting back to that level, especially when you put out a shirt that say "finish the story" and then you don't actually finish the story.
Yes, and then once again, people are saying, "Well, this is still the story." I'm like, there has to be a moment.
Well,
Okay,
the story is over because, no offense to Cody, Cody's good. Cody's a good talker. He's a good wrestler. He's over, but you can't keep using the Dusty card in every single match. You just can't. And if Cody's going to keep fighting Roman, or he's going to eventually keep fighting Roman, you can't use the Dusty card up. Oh, my father never won this belt, so I really have to do it. This is my last chance.
but
Like
you know, but here's the thing, Cody ain't been using that no more. He the one who said we gotta stop using the Dusty card. That's not.
yeah, because he know like
But I'm saying, but
he,
he wasn't using it.
he's going to use it again. It's Cody Rhodes.
He's not going to use it again because he hasn't used it. He only used it
It's
once.
Cody Rhodes.
You Prime.
They gonna first of all, I'm not saying that they're not gonna. I'm saying if he not gonna bring it up, somebody gonna bring it up because Vince or Triple H, whoever's in charge, whatever, is gonna want that to be in the video promo package.
I mean, yes, I get that, but what I'm saying is, even still, if Cody wins the belts at SummerSlam, it's not even in a stadium like that. It's not WrestleMania. That's the whole fucking point of WrestleMania. It can
Yeah,
still be.
you can't end the 1,000-day reign or however many reign at Backlash or at Roadblock.
I mean, if you end at SummerSlam, it's still a big show, but SummerSlam is the mid-season finale, not the season finale. It's just not. And it no matter what anybody says about the story, Cody Rhodes, unfortunately, will not be as over. I don't. Okay, let's put it this way. I don't have the confidence that WWE can keep Cody hot and get him over like he was 2 weeks ago. I'm telling you, people was on fire for this man. All over the country, all over social media. I'm telling you, I witnessed. It's kind of like, remember, excuse me, I hate to bring this up. Remember when Michael Jackson died? They was, no matter where you went, you could have went to the most suburban places. You could have went to the most deadliest hoods in America. They had that man. They had that man blasting on the radio. Am I lying?
They did.
It was a universal affected by that. That's what Cody Rhodes had for that one night. All over. When he lost, everybody felt that I'm telling y'all, and it's coming to Philly next year. I'm telling y'all, I've been in the hood. Okay, I ain't talking about the play hood. I'm talking about some serious shit. And these urban youths is mad. I'm telling you, I'm just like, and you also got to understand that you can sit there and say, well, they're not wrestling fans. They don't know storytelling. You're right. They are casual fans who truly don't understand storytelling. No shit. That's why he's over. You want to get those kind of people on there because that helps sell the company. It helps sells everything. Marvel is not as, the MCU is not as big as it is without the casual fan. If that was the case, superhero movies from back in the day would have did way better than they did. You need the casual fan and the casual eye to help get that kind of stuff over. And now when they like, oh man, oh fuck, Cody lost all momentum, and they're not going to be sticking around for the story, you just lost a good chunk of audience. And you can't be prideful and say, well, we the wrestling fans, we understand how things are going. You're absolutely right. But there's also, as a wrestling fan, you can also know that sometimes they just fucked up. There is such thing as a bad story. Or the story's going on for way too long. Sometimes you just miss the mark. You watch wrestling long enough, Prime. You look back at moments where it's just like, damn, they missed the mark here. They tried to catch it lightning in the bottle again and do it later on, and it just ain't the same.
Yeah, WWE is always like a year late. I'll be noticing.
Yeah, on a lot of things. For instance, Broken Matt Hardy. They were late for that. They were late.
Sorry. Say that again.
Broken Matt Hardy.
Well, they were late with that because they didn't have the rights to it at first.
But even still, even when they did get the rights to it, they dropped the ball with it.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball with it, and it was late. And it's like you can't recapture the magic again when it was hot, and it's not hot anymore. Rusev Day. Hot. They dropped the ball with that. Am I lying? With Aiden, Rusev
Day. They dropped the ball with that on purpose. They just ain't. I don't know why they ain't like him because you got Aiden English coming out doing the little song and all. Yeah, that's just. Yeah, they dropped the ball.
They dropped the ball Rusev Day, big time, and then it's just like, okay, well, now we'll just give it to him. Nobody cared about it anymore, and he left. All that shit was stupid. All that shit was stupid. So, sometimes you gotta strike when it's. I mean, I want the best for Cody Rhodes. I think he is going to beat Roman Reigns for the championship. But I'm saying when he does win, whether it be at SummerSlam or WrestleMania 40, it's not going to be the same as it would have been at WrestleMania 39. It's just not going to be the same.
Yeah, not at all. Some people say he needs to go through more adversity, but I'm like,
no.
This man wrestled a Hell in a Cell with a torn pec for real, not storyline. I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah, like, no, it's not gonna be the same.